Cheers guys, welcome back to another video. And this video, we're covering a post called How to Ignore the 3D in the Law of Attraction subreddit. I'm gonna read it and then we'll talk about it. So one of the biggest challenges in manifesting is ignoring the 3D reality that's screaming at you. It's so easy to let doubt creep in when you don't see results right away. But here is the deal. The 3D is just a delayed reflection of your thoughts and energy. Your manifestation is already on its way. You just have to hold your ground. Here's what works for me and my clients when the 3D is taking its time. One, remember the 3D is a lie. Not a total lie, but it's outdated. What you're seeing is based on your past vibes, not where you're headed. Stop reacting to it and start focusing on what's actually coming. Stop obsessing over the how. Your only job is to feel like your manifestation is already yours. Don't waste energy worrying about how or when it'll show up. Just focus on embodying the version of you who already has it. 3, start a synchronicities tracker. This is such a fun way to keep your mind on track. Anytime you see signs like angel numbers, crazy coincidences, or even small steps towards your goal, write them down. It trains your brain to notice alignment instead of obsessing over what's missing. Plus, it's a great reminder that things are moving, even if you can't see the full picture yet. It's a done deal. Stop letting the 3D shake you. Trust that the universe has your back and keep doing the inner work. All right, so I'm gonna read a couple comments here real quick. Genuine question, how can you ignore the 3D without being delusional to the point of concern? For instance, I've had a few things happen recently with genuine problems, mostly finances. How would you ignore the financial problems and trust that things will get better when you subconsciously already feel hopeless? Further, how do I embody the person with the life I want without feeling ridiculous and or disappointed when the things don't work out how I wanted? Last year, I had this SP that I was manifesting to the point that I genuinely believed we were going to date. Nothing ever happened, and I cringed thinking about the way I acted when I genuinely thought we would be together. Okay, so the OP of this post says, as someone who's gone through this before, you just have to work on the trust you have with the universe. Action's always important when it comes to overcoming financial problems, but it's just as important to understand that everything will work out no matter what, as long as you have unconditional faith. Something you can try to help with this is EFT. So they're talking about EFT tapping and repeating the words, I release and trust the universe. As for the reason why you didn't end up with the SP, it could be because you weren't seeing results as fast as you wanted to and started to shift your belief that you won't end up with that person. This is a common thing that happens when trying to manifest an SP if you don't have a solid formula and belief system. When you keep wondering why you're not with them yet, or why they haven't showed up, it creates doubt and living in lack. Okay, right. Spirals of thoughts, okay. Yeah, I mean, this person, obviously they're a coach. I do like how they acknowledge that action is always important when it comes to overcoming financial problems. I see too many people in this space that just act as if action isn't necessary, or they make action like this very inconsequential thing. They're like, maybe even the people that do acknowledge that you take action, they're like, oh, we'll only take inspired action. As you've seen maybe in my recent video, sometimes that's not really going to work. Like for me personally, I have this book that I'm working on, and I don't always feel inspired to work on the book. Anybody that's creating or anybody that's been successful in any endeavor, Kobe Bryant, he talks about how he didn't always feel like going to practice. Nobody's going to every single moment of every single day just feel completely jazzed up, even if you're working on something that you have interest in. Like for me with this book, there are times where I just need to, for example, I gave in the latest video, I sit with music in my bed and I don't let myself scroll. I don't let myself do anything that would be giving me hits of dopamine, because then when I cut off all those possibilities, now I'm able to, my mind starts thinking about, oh, what I want to add to the book. It's not that I was just inspired to write a chapter in my book. It's that I leaned into processes and systems which allow that inspiration to come to me. It's very paradoxical, this entire thing. Manifestation, life itself is paradoxical. You can hear advice from one person and have it make total sense and click, and then a year later or even a month later hear the opposite set of advice and have that resonate and have that click. And it all depends on where you're at, where you are currently at in your own process as it relates to whatever you're working towards. It's, sometimes that not trying and then everything happens. Sometimes you need that. I would say a lot of people in this space are too much in that direction, in that yin energy, which is just this receiving mode. Like you're always just kind of waiting for something to happen. You're doing all this stuff inside, but then you're sitting at home and not taking action, right? And you need that yang energy. You need a balance of the energy. So that yang energy is that, okay, I'm making a decision. I'm doing this, right? I'm stepping into this version of myself. I'm embodying this version that's doing the thing. Because if you are simply imagining things in your mind when it comes to finances, even as this person acknowledged here, that's not going to move the needle, guys. Even when it comes to something that's like investing, like I mentioned, I have invested in the past in mutual funds. I've invested into, like right now, I'm looking at my crypto portfolio. That still requires action. It still requires me to go and do research on what coins I want to invest into. When I bought Ethereum back in 2017, I still was talking to a friend of mine. They kind of told me about it. Then I went and did my own research, right? I downloaded Coinbase and all these things. It's not like sometimes it doesn't involve that much hard grinding and effort, but it does require action. And you're not always just going to be in this magical state of inspiration. Talked about this in a recent video too. Julia Cameron in The Artist's Way talks about the process of automatic writing, because once you begin to do the thing, then that inspiration comes. Then, as Vadim Zeland calls, the muse will come and she will sit down and eat with you, is the way that he describes it. He uses this analogy as, the muse, and when you're waiting for her to come, the muse of inspiration, she's just sitting there like with her arms crossed, like kind of unhappy that you're waiting on her when she wants you to make the first move, right? It's an interesting analogy, and I find that it rings true, because it's like as soon as you begin to do something, that's when the universe has this opportunity to fulfill the thing that you are putting your energy and intention and focus on. When you start taking steps in the physical and in the mental. And again, as within, so without, it's all connected. So, this right here, the last point they had of the synchronicities tracker, that's a cool thing. It's just basically acknowledging. I have in my book this whole aspect of acknowledging, but it's like setting up this point or a process where, in this case, you're acknowledging all the little signs. You're acknowledging the angel numbers. You're acknowledging the little pieces of news, the little positive things that are happening that will get you, divert your attention, not divert, but yes, direct your attention towards the outcome that you're wanting, instead of focusing on, like they said, the parts that are missing. It's always a disciplining. Neville Goddard talks about manifestation is awareness without, or he says that it is imagination without effort, awareness without effort. And so it's the disciplining of the mind to dwell in the direction that we want it without the effort. You can still discipline your mind by taking charge of it, by directing it towards certain things, and certain times that you will feel friction. We are human beings after all. There is friction when we walk, when we push open a heavy door. Not all doors just swing open by you imagining them swinging open. Sometimes you need to give it that push and then it'll swing open. Sometimes you need to train in the gym to develop that strength so that you can push the door open. These are skills. These are abilities that you generate, that you grow. Speaking on camera, public speaking isn't something that you just wake up and have. It's something that you acquire through practice. Same thing with any skill. And so it's always that balance. It's always that directing that mental energy and that mental attention towards the direction that you want things in, and then also taking the steps and moving your feet in that direction, as Vadim Zeland would say. Anyways, guys, interesting little post here. Let me know your thoughts down below. Drop this video with a like, and click the link down below if you are interested in the ebook. When that releases, you'll be notified as soon as it does. I have a lot of techniques, and like I said, I have like this acknowledging process where you begin to acknowledge all the things that you actually have had success with, all the things that you have been complimented on, all the things that already are in the direction of what it is that you're going towards, because that's that process, listing those things out. And then there are many processes in the book that will allow you to direct this narrative so that it is serving your vision and what it is that you're manifesting. Anyways, guys, much love as always, and I will see you guys in the next video.